Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we cover all the biggest stories in entertainment. And today's story is one you absolutely do not want to miss. Mark Consuelos, the man millions of you know as Kelly Ripa's devoted husband, former All My Children heartthrob, and current co-host of Live with Kelly and Mark, is making his Broadway debut, and the entertainment world is taking serious notice. This isn't just a feel-good celebrity headline. This is a milestone moment that has fans, theater critics, and industry insiders all asking the same question. Does Mark Consuelos have what it takes to command the Broadway stage? Stick with us because we're breaking down everything, from the details of his debut to what this could mean for his career and legacy. To truly understand why this Broadway debut is such a big deal, you have to know who Mark Consuelos really is beyond the morning show desk and the red carpet appearances. Mark was born in Zaragoza, Spain, and raised between Italy and the United States, which gave him a uniquely multicultural upbringing that would later inform his natural charisma and adaptability on screen. He studied at the University of South Florida. It was his striking looks combined with a genuine hunger for performance that eventually led him to the entertainment industry. Most people first fell in love with Mark when he joined the cast of All My Children back in 1995, playing the iconic role of Mateo Santos. And it was on that very set where his life changed forever, because that's where he met Kelly Ripa. Their romance became one of Hollywood's greatest love stories, eventually blossoming into a marriage that has lasted nearly 3 decades and produced 3 children. But while their relationship has been front and center in the public eye, Mark's career has always been a compelling story in its own right. Over the years, he built an impressive television resume, appearing in shows like Pitch, Riverdale, where he played the menacing Hiram Lodge, in various film and producing projects through their joint production company, Melojo Productions. He's always been the kind of performer who disappears into a role, which is precisely what made his portrayal of Hiram Lodge so chilling and effective. Fans who only knew him from morning television were genuinely startled by how sinister and commanding he was on Riverdale. That duality, the warm, funny morning show host and intense, transformative actor, is what makes his Broadway move so intriguing. And then came Live with Kelly and Mark, where he officially stepped in as Kelly's full-time co-host in 2023, filling a seat that had been vacant since Ryan Seacrest departed. The transition was seamless, and ratings responded positively. Mark brought a grounded, self-deprecating humor to the format that resonated with audiences. He was funny without trying too hard, charming without being sycophantic, and honest in a way that felt genuinely refreshing for daytime television. But even as he thrived in that role, those closest to him knew that live performance, real, raw, unedited live performance, was something that had always called to him. And now that calling has officially been answered. Mark Consuelos is making his Broadway debut, and the production chosen for this landmark moment is nothing short of fitting for a performer of his caliber and reputation. The details surrounding his debut have generated an enormous amount of conversation across entertainment media, and for very good reason, because everything about this move feels intentional, strategic, and deeply exciting. Broadway, as any theater enthusiast will tell you, is an entirely different beast from film and television. The camera cannot save you on Broadway. There are no second takes, no editing room magic, no post-production tricks. Every night you walk out onto that stage and you deliver, raw, live, fully committed, in front of a house full of people who paid good money and have high expectations. It is, by any measure, one of the most terrifying and exhilarating experiences a performer can have. And the fact that Mark Consuelos is choosing to step into that world at this stage of his career says everything about his ambitions as an artist. Sources close to the production have noted that Mark approached this opportunity with extraordinary dedication. Rehearsals, vocal preparation, physical conditioning for the stage, he reportedly threw himself into the process with a kind of focus that surprised even seasoned Broadway professionals. Those who have worked with him on set have always described him as a consummate professional, someone who does his homework and never shows up unprepared. And apparently, that reputation has followed him straight into the theater world. What makes this debut even more compelling is the timing. Mark is currently one of the most visible personalities on daytime television. He didn't need Broadway. He wasn't doing this because his career needed a boost or because he was looking for a second act. He's doing this because he wants to grow as a performer, because Broadway represents a challenge he's never faced, and because, by all accounts, the story being told on that stage is one he connected with on a profound personal level. That kind of motivation tends to produce extraordinary performances, and the anticipation building around his debut reflects that. Ripa, who has been one of his loudest and most enthusiastic supporters, has already been vocal about her pride in his decision. Those who follow the couple closely know that Kelly has always championed Mark's career with genuine enthusiasm, never allowing the spotlight dynamic of their relationship to diminish his individual achievements. She's spoken warmly about his courage in pursuing this, and knowing Kelly, there is absolutely no chance she won't be in that audience cheering him on with everything she has. The response from fans and media has been nothing short of electric. Social media lit up almost immediately when news of his Broadway debut broke, with Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok filling rapidly with messages of excitement, disbelief, and admiration. Many fans who have followed Mark since his All My Children days expressed a sense of full-circle joy, as if watching him take on Broadway felt like the natural evolution of a journey they've been witnessing for decades. Entertainment media outlets were equally enthusiastic in their coverage. Entertainment Tonight, People Magazine, Deadline, and several major outlets ran prominent features on the announcement, with many noting that this debut feels genuinely significant rather than just another celebrity vanity project. Critics who might typically be skeptical about television stars crossing into theater have largely responded with cautious optimism, pointing to Mark's history of committed performances, particularly on Riverdale, as evidence that he has the acting chops to justify the move. Fan communities dedicated to both Mark and Kelly have been in overdrive, with dedicated threads dissecting every detail of the announcement, speculating about what the role will demand of him, and sharing clips of his previous dramatic performances as evidence of why he's ready for this. The enthusiasm is real, and it's widespread. Even people who aren't necessarily longtime fans have found themselves intrigued by the story, because there's something universally compelling about watching someone take a genuine risk at the height of their comfort and success. Broadway insiders have also weighed in, with several theater professionals expressing genuine respect for the commitment involved in taking on a stage production while simultaneously holding down a high-profile daily television hosting gig. The logistical challenge alone is staggering, and the fact that Mark is willing to take it on speaks volumes about his work ethic and his passion for the craft. Let's talk about what this really means, because on the surface, it might seem like just another celebrity headline, but dig a little deeper and you start to see a much more interesting narrative taking shape. Mark Consuelos making his Broadway debut is significant for several reasons that go well beyond the personal. First, it reinforces an important truth about longevity in entertainment, that the performers who last are the ones who never stop challenging themselves. Mark has been in this industry for 30 years. He could easily coast. He could show up to the morning show desk every day, attend the right events, maintain his profile, and call it a successful career. Instead, he's walking into one of the most demanding performance environments in the world and starting from scratch. That kind of artistic courage deserves recognition. Second, this debut has the potential to fundamentally reshape how the industry and the public perceive him. Right now, the dominant narrative around Mark Consuelos is Ripa's husband and co-host. That's not a criticism. It's simply the reality of public perception. But a successful Broadway run could shift that conversation entirely, establishing him as a serious dramatic performer in his own right, capable of carrying a production on his own terms. That kind of perception shift is rare and valuable, and it's clearly something he's working toward with intention. Third, and perhaps most importantly, it's a reminder that Broadway still holds a unique prestige in the entertainment landscape. In an era of streaming dominance and social media celebrity, the stage remains the ultimate test of a performer's authenticity and skill. When major stars choose Broadway, it elevates both the star and the art form, drawing new audiences who might never have considered attending a live theater production before. Mark's fan base, which spans daytime TV viewers, soap opera devotees, and reality TV fans, is broad and loyal. His debut will almost certainly introduce a new generation of theatergoers to Broadway, and that's genuinely good for the industry. So what happens next? Well, if his Broadway debut goes the way his supporters are hoping, and all early indications suggest it very well might, the possibilities that open up for Mark Consuelos are genuinely exciting. A strong critical reception on Broadway would give him the credibility to pursue more complex dramatic roles in film and television, the kind of roles that might have previously gone to performers with more established theatrical credentials.